Hey everybody, and welcome to Tales from the Clinic. This is a new podcast hosted by Dr. Molly O'Banion and myself, Ashley, just a regular gal. The premise of this podcast is all things pets and veterinary medicine. Dr. Molly is here to do that part. I am here to make sure she's using words us regular people can understand. Each episode we will dive into different aspects of veterinary medicine, interesting cases seen at the clinic, and just general advice on pet ownership in hopes of educating and giving a glimpse into our world. So, let's get started. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, me and Molly, we are back to just us two, but last episode was a lot of fun. I can see us doing that again in the future for sure. But today, it's just the two of us, and we are going to be talking about Squished-Snoot dogs.
Oh, the Squished-Snoot. Yeah, I'm really hoping that y'all gained a lot from that interview with our student Alex. I'm hoping to bring some more guest speakers from various areas of the field forward so that y'all aren't just listening to our lovely voices, however lovely they may be.
They're so pretty.
So that we can get some different opinions and different points of view up in this street, because
up in this street.
Yeah, this street.
We're so hip and
fresh.
Yes.
Because there are lots of different areas in this industry, just besides, our little nook and cranny corner of veterinary medicine that I think that a lot of people don't really know about. So I would like to share things and open people's eyes that maybe you didn't even know existed. And I think veterinary student world is one of those. A lot of people don't know what it's like to actually go through vet school, the interview process, the school process, what it takes after school to actually get your licensure and become a veterinarian, and the first year out of vet school and into growing your confidence level to flourishing into the butterfly of being a vet and, I guess, growing your wings, if
That's
you
fair.
will. Because when you go from student to actual vet, it's a lot harder than you think, because you don't have somebody looking over your shoulder and making sure you're not messing everything up all the time. So, these are things that people in the general public don't think about. So I'm hoping to do more interviews in the future so that we can shed light on stuff.
Yeah. Well, and it's also the whole thing of you really jump into not having a safety net.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's scary.
It's very scary.
It's like swimming without floaties.
I don't do that.
But let's get back into medicine. So we're going to talk about boas today and not slippery snakes.
Ooh, boas.
Boas. So BOAS, which is an acronym. That's an English word. An acronym is a series of letters which stand for a series of words. Brachycephalic obstructive airway syndrome.
Brachycephalic obstructive airway syndrome.
That was close. Brachycephalic.
Brachycephalic.
Mm-hmm.
I've been pronouncing that wrong for years.
Yeah. So you're learning something too.
Ugh.
So brachy means short, cephalic means head. So short head, obstructive airway syndrome.
So this would classify our breeds of. This is a dog thing.
Well, it can be a cat thing.
It can be. Oh, because of the
Himalayans, Persians.
Yeah, but the
Munchkins.
Frenchies, bulldogs, boxers.
Yes.
Some.
Yes.
Okay.
Depending on, some individuals are worse than others.
Yeah.
Shih Tzus, Pekingese, Brussels Griffons.
What?
What Biscuit used to be.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Brussels Griffons.
Brussels Griffon.
It's very fancy bread sounding.
She was orange like bread. Sure.
That's true.
Kinda. Yeah. So what happens is, imagine a German Shepherd frolicking through the field, taking deep breaths as they're running. All of that anatomy, going from the tip of their snoot to their lungs, is compacted into the snoot of a bulldog.
Does it perfectly compact? Does it do a little blah 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 blah?
Nothing in a bulldog is perfect.
That's true.
Absolutely nothing. They are actual aliens. So everything that you put in a German Shepherd or a Doberman or something with those long heads is inside the smush face dogs, but it's on top of each other. How do you think it works the same? Hint! It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't at all.
So, but we have a lot. Well, I guess a lot of the times we have these dogs exist, and they get along in life kind of fine.
Do they exist?
Kind of. I think I've seen 2.
You put a bulldog outside for more than an hour in Houston, and it overheats and dies. If they get too excited in a dog park, they fall over.
They don't exercise.
Is that existing? That's not what dogs are meant to be.
That's fair.
That's not fair to them. That's not a dog life. So how do we fix it? In my world, we're here to fix it, right? So how do we fix it? We can't undo. You can't push the back button.
I guess it'd be more of a forward button.
Yeah, you have to push the forward button. So, but you can't hook a rope and pull and stretch it. That doesn't work. So in BOAS procedures, there's a set of surgeries that equal BOAS surgery.
Okay.
What? There's 3 procedures that equal BOAS surgery. 3 set could be 3. Group, party. There's a party of surgeries that equal BOAS procedure. Yeah. Okay, so some patients, depending on how bad they are, may need all 3. Some of them only need 1. Some of them need 2. Some of them you can do all 3 and they still are messed up. Some of them don't necessarily need any of them. It depends.
Okay.
The sooner you do it...
Age-wise?
Age-wise.
Okay.
The better they are long-term.
Okay.
So think of this. If they're breathing, as one does.
That's a good sign.
Hopefully. If they're breathing, when the air enters their boob snoot, and it goes through their sinuses, and it goes down into their windpipe, which is their trachea, and it goes down into their lungs. The smoother the journey, so the less turbulence, the happier the cells in all of that lining is. So the cells that line the sinuses, the cells that line the trachea, the cells that line the lungs, don't like turbulent flow.
Causes inflammation, I'm guessing?
Causes inflammation.
Okay.
So if the air that they're breathing is whipping around like a wave pool, it pisses off all of those cells that are lining those organs.
So my guess is...
They don't like tornadoes.
The surgery is to straighten those airways as best you can, even though they're still crooked-dicky?
Right. It's trying to decrease turbulent flow.
Gotcha.
So the sooner we can open them up and decrease that turbulent flow, the less inflammation down the tracks we'll have, which means the less chronic changes we'll have as we go through life, which means the trachea and the lungs stay normal longer, which means less chance of collapsing trachea and asthma later on.
Oh, wow. And this also, I'm assuming, is because I know a lot of the Squished-Snoot dogs, they'll get the things on the end of the ears, and it's like a lack of oxygen in the blood at the tip of the capillaries, and it might help with that too?
I mean, it's
not important.
Better oxygenation, sure.
Okay.
And asthma can be a pain in the butt to treat, and collapsing trachea, we don't really have great protocols for. We just kind of guess and check and hope.
Yeah.
So if we can avoid those problems, which we don't have great programs for, yes, please.
Yes, please.
So we usually recommend we perform the BOAS procedure during spay and neuter time, which is 6 to 12-ish months.
Okay.
When they're less than a year, ideally, in a perfect world.
Yeah.
Okay, but what about the ones for breeding?
Stop breeding?
Please.
Or
First
breed
of
them
all-
with longer snoots.
Okay, yes. Thank you. Okay, first of all, I understand. The world wants to breed Frenchies and Bulldogs because they think that it's profitable. Because those breeds go for a lot of money, like sell for a lot of money. If we breed the ones that have longer snoots and don't have as much of these problems, the breed standard would be better. Absolutely.
Weren't they were originally longer snooted.
Yes,
I
they
think
were.
I think I saw something months ago that there's some breeder guy out there that's trying to
There's a couple
bring
of
it
them
back.
that are trying to bring it back. And the dogs would be better off.
Yeah.
Like, this was not a good change. This was bad.
Yeah.
This was poor judgment. And if we could breed this back out of them, it would be better for the future. Like, if we could reverse global warming. This is the same. Like, the same. Like
Global warming and Frenchies.
Yes.
Go the other
This is
direction.
the same. So, really, if it were up to me and I was, emperor, all of these guys that needed this would be spayed and neutered. And the guys that didn't need this, sure, you could breed them.
Oh, okay, I see.
But if you were going to defy me and you wanted to breed, do this before they're a year old, breed them, and then get them spayed and neutered. Because this protects them
Yeah.
later on in life.
Yeah.
And if you wait until after they're a year old, the chances of them having asthma and stuff down the road is higher.
And you don't want them getting winded during breeding time.
Okay. Do you want to really talk about that?
Yeah, actually.
They can't. You have to AI them.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
Another reason why. They're not meant to be here.
Molly loves doing AI. It's very funny. She has a love rug that she keeps here at the clinic. You've discontinued doing it though.
Because I hate it.
It's a very intimate moment for
Because
a few
I
staff
hate it.
members.
Okay. I had a technician that used to work here that was great at it. It was a special skill. She left. So now I really don't like it. I will AI if the owner brings the sperm. But I don't want to collect.
Yeah, that's
But why, if two individuals can't even reproduce on their own, I feel like that's a sign. Like,
Yeah.
Here's your sign.
yeah. That's okay.
No.
Just be cute. Don't pass it
That's
down.
personal opinion. Personal opinion. Personal.
Okay, so there's 3 possible surgeries involved with the Boaz.
Yes. And this is where it gets fun for me.
Okay, first question. Is it best to do them in a certain order, or does it really matter?
Probably. But that's not how I do it.
Okay. Well, let's start with your first choice.
Okay, so so the 3 procedures are the stenotic nares, which is the nose flaps. The nose flaps are usually closed, so their nostrils don't open. And then they talk like this, like they have
That's how all the Frenchies talk to me.
yeah, like they have a deviated septum. My name is Urkel. Right. So we open up their nose flaps so they can actually breathe through their nose. And then the second one is the soft palate resection. So the top of their mouth, like the roof of their mouth, goes too far back and it covers up their epiglottis, which is where their windpipe opens up. So when they're trying to breathe, blop, 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 like a fish.
Like a fish?
The top of their roof, like the roof of their mouth, covers it like a blanket. And it's like flapping, and it's in the way. So you cut it off. And then the third one is the everted laryngeal saccules. So there's like these like glands that like are in the like, so you have your soft palate, which is a blanket over the epiglottis, and then just inside the epiglottis are these like little glands that can like pop out of their little slots, and they're like, so it's like this tube. I wish y'all could see my hands. There's like this
I just want
tube.
everyone to know that she is describing with her hands, but she's using the microphone like a camera right now.
So there's this tube that you're looking down, that's their windpipe. And then at the bottom on each side of the tube, kind of at the like 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock areas, there's these little bubbles, little saccules that can pop out, and then they like get in the way.
So if I'm trying to compare it to like human understanding, it'd almost be like really bad tonsillitis, like the same area blocking the makes it
It's deeper, but it's kind of
deeper.
the idea,
Okay.
but like deeper in the airway.
Okay.
So, in my experience, the vast majority of them have the nares.
Yes.
The second most common is the soft palate. And I've had not as frequently the saccules. I've only done a couple of the saccules.
I was gonna say, I think you had one within like the last month or two, but I hadn't heard about it before
Right,
that.
because I rarely, usually
Yeah.
don't have to. And if I see them, they're really not that bad. Like the one that I recently had, that one I had to. And I don't like doing that one because it's super deep in there and I feel like I'm messing with fire down there. Like it's kind of a lot.
Because I remember that surgery because we were doing the soft palate and nares, but then you got in there and you had to call the owner mid-surgery and be like, all of this is going to be useless unless we also take care of this.
It was
This is
it was a
bad."
scary one because his trachea was, I mean, he was young, but his trachea was already like it was tight.
Yeah.
So the nares has a really fun. So there's two different types of, well, the main two types of surgery for the nares. There's a wedge resection, which is where you take like a little triangle out of the outside and you sew the sides of the triangle back so that it like opens it up like a window.
Like a teepee?
Yeah, like a teepee. And then there's a second part, and this is a word that I want you to.
This is a word?
This is a word.
Are we wording right now?
This is a word.
Okay.
It's very long. Hold on, I want to count the letters. 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 letters.
This is not going to go well.
You ready?
Turn that computer toward me.
That word.
Alvestibulopulasty. Nope, hold on. Let me give another shot. Alvestibuloplasty.
That's pretty close. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. So this is the newer procedure, and this is the one that I feel like the majority of us are moving to, because the wedge just takes out like the very outer part of the nostril, but it doesn't address the sinus cavity at all. And the sinus cavity is where the majority of the turbulent flow is, right? And we talked about turbulent flow. You want to get rid of the turbulent flow. The inside cells don't like tornadoes. If you just remove a piece of the nostril, you're not doing much. Okay, so if you're squeamish, this is your chance. Here's your sign. Ready, set? And skip. Okay, so we take a blade, and you go, you point the blade up, you go straight in the nostril, you turn it outward, you cut down towards the 5 o'clock hour, and you cut until it falls out. And you take the outer, 5 o'clock piece of the nostril, like the outside of the nose, and you take a chunk, like an inch chunk of sinus tissue out.
Oh, that sounds so relieving.
So it opens up their sinus cavity. Like it opens up a huge amount of space in their primary sinus cavity for them to be able to breathe.
Wow.
It's not just a tiny wedge out of their nostril. It's like their nose.
How long has the surgery been around? I mean, you probably don't know everything.
I mean, that one's decently new. I have only been doing it a couple years.
Okay.
That one. The wedge I've been doing longer, but that one I feel like it doesn't do the most.
Yeah.
Not since this one came out. This one I feel like I'm doing way more.
Yeah.
Now it bleeds like the dickens because the nose.
Yes, and we always have to warn people when we're getting them discharged at reception. It's, I mean, you got like the cone on, just like a basic surgery, but it's so they don't paw at their face. But it's like, not like pouring blood, but the cone, it can be very bloody at first, but like by the time they're going home, like they might have like some blood clot rockets, or they like, I know like the cone, a lot of times it gets pretty dirty with like the blood from like, sleeping and whatnot, but.
Think like Halloween, but like sneezing out of a bulldog face. It's great.
Oh gosh.
But it's doing them so much good, so it's totally worth it. So the second surgery, the soft palate resection or the palatoplasty.
Is that the word I just said?
No.
Okay, cool. I was like, I said it really wrong.
Palatoplasty. So this one, there's a couple different ways to do it. You can use like a laser. I don't use one. I just feel like it increases the inflammation back there. Some people think that it helps. I just personally don't.
Like a cauterizing laser.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it makes it more inflamed. And the more inflamed you make everything, the harder it is for them to breathe waking up. And these guys already have a hard time breathing. So if you make it to where they can't breathe waking up, you have problems.
Yeah.
So we are trying to decrease inflammation as much as possible as we're going through here. You don't want a lot of swelling.
Yeah.
Or you have issues. So what I do is I grab the back of the I open the mouth first and make sure that that soft palate is too long. If there's a blanket covering that epiglottis, we need to remove the blanket. The dog's not cold. It doesn't need a blanket.
I have a question real quick. When you're inserting like a trach tube, you have to get past the blanket, right? So it's pretty easy to spot.
Yeah.
But I guess you also check upon exam before.
You can't see it on the exam.
Oh, so you have to, okay.
You can't see it until the dog's sedated.
Okay.
Because as you're opening the dog's mouth while they're still awake, they're like, and they're like sticking their tongue out at you and they're fighting you and you can't see it.
You can't have my blankie.
Yeah, I don't want to show you. It's a secret. It's like a no-no square. So like when they're asleep, then you can see it.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if I'm doing this until they're asleep.
Okay.
I know about the nose. I don't know about this and I don't know about the saccules or the soft palate until they're asleep.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
So I grab the blanket with clamps. I grab the bottom of it and I pull it out. I grab each side, boop, boop, and I pull it forward. And I decide how much I'm going to take. If you take too much, then they are prone when they're eating. The food flips up and they aspirate it.
Oh, and that's a whole
bad
problem
news
in
bears.
itself.
So you can't take too much. So I measure it out to see like where I want it to sit. And then I cut along that line. And then I take the two edges that I cut and I sew them together.
Okay. Yeah.
And I feel like and I've done quite a few of them. And I feel like in my experience, I don't generally have that much swelling. And the suture that I use
the biodegradable ones?
Yeah, it just dissolves on its own and it goes away. I don't have to like remove them or anything.
Okay. Like wisdom teeth stitching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ta-da! The end.
The end.
So the saccules is the one that I don't have to do that often. Those you see as you're putting the tube into the trachea.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of sit just past the epiglottis, and they'll sit up against your trach tube, the little bubbles. And if they're covering a decent part of your trachea, you need to remove them.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're not sitting up really high, I leave them alone. Because again, you don't want to cause a lot of inflammation.
Yeah.
So if you're cutting things out of the trachea, that tube is not that big.
Yeah.
I don't want to cause swelling.
Yeah.
I only remove them if they're already covering more than a quarter to a third of the tube.
Yeah.
Then I think it's worth removing them. And really, you just kind of grab them and pull them out. Oh.
Like neutering.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Because you just kind of like, mine!
Is it? I saw a video the other day that if we have a proper airway on a dog or cat, but it was mainly about a dog, the size of the trach tube should be the same as the width of the nostrils?
No. It should, well, it's a trick, but it doesn't always work. Theoretically, the size of the trach tube opening at the bottom is the size of what is this called? From your nose to the top of your lip.
Upper lip. I don't know.
It has a word.
Yeah.
Where you have this like divot-y thing.
Yeah.
It has a name.
Let me look it up. Hey Google, what's the name of the part of the face between the lip and the bottom of the nose?
What's the name of the face part? Hey Goo.
The philtrum?
Yeah, the philtrum. So the size of the opening of the trach tube is about the size of your philtrum.
Oh, so vertical, not horizontal.
Vertical.
Okay. Interesting.
Estimate. Not always reliable.
Yeah.
On a dog, it's kind of like the bottom of the nose-ish. Kind of like that.
Okay.
But it doesn't always work. Like in that dog that you just talked about, that dog's trachea, we measured it, and it was supposed to be at a 7, I believe. And we kept trying and trying and trying and trying, and it would not go in. And I went all the way down to a 4, which is the size of a cat, and able to put a trach tube in that. And
Oh my
even
gosh.
the 4 was tight.
That's horrible.
It was not good.
That's very scary.
It is very scary. And so when we were extubating, taking the tube out when he was waking up, I was like, oh no. Da-da-da. And then that comes to our last point. So you've caused swelling in the nose. You've caused swelling in the back of the throat. You've caused swelling potentially in the trachea if you've done the saccules. Those are literally all of the breathing parts. When you take the tube out that they're breathing out of, if the dog loses all of its airway and turns purple, you may have to insert an emergency tracheotomy.
Yeah.
So you have to be prepared. And that is the most dangerous point in this procedure, is on extubation. We always watch the heck out of these guys, and we extubate them in the very last second. We wait until they're literally chewing on that tube to pull it out so that they have as much control of their airway as possible. Because sometimes their airway will collapse, and there's always a possibility that we'll have to cut down and put a tube in their trachea, in their neck.
Yeah. And then a lot of times I feel like with the spays and neuters, regular ones, it's we wait, watch them wake up, eyes start to open. Okay, we can put them in their kennel and continue the wake up process.
Yeah.
But our surgery techs walk around with these dudes for an hour.
Yeah.
I feel like
These guys it's significantly more risky. A lot. These guys though, they don't breathe well on their own. So usually it's funny. They'll sit there with their tube in, fully awake, for an hour, like you said, and they're just sitting there and they're just breathing out their tube, and they're like, this is nice.
I feel like we've also had some where a few hours goes by, they wake up, smooth recovery, fantastic, and then it's they take the best nap of their life.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes snoring, but sometimes the snoring is significantly less compared to their regular breathing, but they look as happy as a clam.
Yeah, because they're we never breathed this good before.
What is this?
We weren't even born like this. This is
I
great.
am God.
And then we take the tube out, and then it's scary, 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 scary. Now, the actual amount of times that we have to place a trach tube is not that many, but
be aware.
Be very aware. We have to watch them like a hawk. And
Yeah.
it's a scary moment. And then obviously, because we have that scary moment and because of the high risk, the post-op care at home is pretty intense. And I do not intense people can't do it. They can do it, but I do kind of warn the owners the first 24 hours are pretty important. You need to keep an eye on them.
Yeah, be prepared to not sleep much or have rotating shifts.
Just be aware.
Yeah.
Watch them close.
What about after all these surgeries are done, you probably haven't seen, but scar tissue growing back to where they have to get it done again later in life?
I've seen the nose do that. I haven't seen the palate or the saccules do that.
Okay.
But the nose is not that big of a deal. And
Yeah.
usually if the nose is going to do that, I haven't had to do it for the whole alar. I just kind of do the external nares, the wedge almost.
Oh, okay.
I just fix the outside.
Yeah.
Which is not hard.
Yeah.
It's 2 seconds. And that's not nearly as dangerous as the whole ordeal.
Yeah. I also would like to let the public know that when Molly does the nares surgery, she and her surgery assistant will sit there and look at this dog to give them the best nose job possible. They're figuring out, does it look even? Do the nostrils match?
I have 4 different people look at it to make sure that it looks perfect. I'm my eyes might be fooling me. Here, look at it from this angle. Here, turn the light. Here, get down. You have to go eye level. You can't look at it from too high. You can't go too low. You have to power stance it. If you're not in the power stance at the right angle, you can't tell.
Yeah.
You have to be eye level with the nose.
And is this medically important, or is it
It's cosmetic.
I was gonna say, are you throwing in a little cosmetic?
In that moment, I'm a plastic surgeon.
They turn out beautiful.
That's one of the few moments in my life where I'm a plastic surgeon.
It is very funny to walk in on those.
It's a lot of pressure. If I mess up your dog's nose, you'll look at that face the rest of the dog's life and you'll think of what a mess up job I did.
That's fair. And you don't want people thinking about you the rest of your life. Their
No.
life, do you?
No. I want them to enjoy their dog and forget about me.
So after surgery and stuff, recovery, we've talked about like the 24 hours. But once we get through that, I'm assuming there's not a change in diet that's needed. With exercise, can we exercise more, or is it still recommended like, no, they're still the breed that they are. Don't increase exercise now that they have more airway.
I wait until they're like fully healed. So I would wait like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We don't want any residual inflammation, any chance of bleeding coming back. I mean, we treat these guys with white gloves.
Yeah.
Until they are solid.
Okay.
And then they'll be able to do more than they ever did because they can breathe better.
Yeah, but don't push it.
No, let them set their own pace.
Yeah.
But they'll be able to frolic better.
They'll be able to frolic like the German Shepherds?
Oh, maybe not.
The legs. We got to talk about the legs on that one.
Yeah. But maybe like a
grasshop?
Like a Cocker Spaniel.
Very nice.
I'm not sure the Cocker Spaniels frolic. But if they did.
Maybe do they frolic like a dachshund? They can grasshopper through a mowed lawn.
Yes. 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 Well, Boas surgery is one of those things that not a lot of people know about, but more people should because it's important. If you did not know about this, and now you do, please tell your friends. And if your friends have questions, you can answer them. Or you can send them our way. And then your friends should tell them friends. Who should tell their friends? Who should tell their friends? Because it's in the better interest of all the bullies out there.
We're starting a Boas movement.
Yes. Saving the world one bulldog at a time.
Stickers! Let's make stickers! So if you have more questions, shoot us over an email at drmollydvm@gmail.com. We also have an Instagram. You can find us there. We've got the 3 clinics, as a lot of you guys know, but spread the word. This is a pretty important surgery.
Very important. It's a quality of life procedure.
Do we also see a increase in people needing this surgery during the summer months?
Does the heat affect it? That?
Yeah, but does it flare up? Does it seem like there's flare-ups in this?
Flare up during the heat. Yes.
Okay.
But if you're noticing it during the summer, you needed it beforehand.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, hit us up if you got questions. Help us start our Boas movement, and we'll see you next time.
Make good incisions.
Thank you for joining us on Tales from the Clinic. Again, we are your hosts, Dr. Molly and regular Ashley. For more insider scoops into the vet med life and pet ownership, hit that subscribe button for updates on new episodes, and of course, share our channel to spread the word. Check the podcast notes below to see how you can get in contact with us. You can find all of Dr. Molly's affordable pet healthcare clinics on social media as well. Thanks again, and talk soon.